Street photography, at least for me, is about portraying life in cities as it happens. I went to Copenhagen during Fashion Week in hopes that the city would be filled with a lot of characters and interestingly dressed people to elevate the photos.
Can you take a picture of me?
I like how the other kids are looking at this kid and him focusing fully on being photographed. This is a very Danish style photo. I know it's quite common for photographers to go to Fashion Week for street style photography. If you don't know what street style is, it's basically photographing people's outfits. The importance in those photos are to capture the outfits of attendees. I'm not really interested in that. I want to find moments happening, and if the subjects are well dressed, I think it gives extra value to the image. I see these two well-dressed women by the bikes, but nothing comes of it. The color of the bicycle tire here catches my eye as it matches the pants of the parade, so I try to get it into frame. I want the drums in the parade as well. I don't know if you can see, but in front of me are two girls in special outfits, and I think they're recording like a TikTok or something with the parade behind them. I was hoping to get something here, but it didn't work out. Then once I passed them, they ran out into the parade, and unfortunately these bins came in the way. I don't think it would have been anything anyway, only maybe if I would have been able to frame it from behind. I left the parade and went into this beautiful park I saw, but I didn't think I'd get the images I was after in here, so quite quickly I went out again. Here I saw this really nice building at the other corner, and there was a cool woman coming past it, so I crossed to get a shot. You get a lot of these shots when doing street photography, just people walking, and I don't really find them amusing. There's nothing going on, so I didn't keep it. This one I liked, the hat, the coat, and just as I came by she turned her head. I think she's like untangling her headphones, but it almost looks like she's holding her coffee in the image. I like the colors, and the blur makes the image a bit more intriguing in my opinion. I walk around quite a lot, but there's not much going on here right now, unfortunately, aside from the parade. Here are some shots I got. By this point I've been walking for about an hour and haven't really seen what I've hoped from a city during Fashion Week. Me knowing that this is the only day where there will be some sun, and for just about 2 hours more, it kind of stresses me out, putting too much pressure on finding the shots. So I had to take a break, get some lunch, and look through the photos I got so far, just to reset. One thing I learned this trip is to always go into these alleys in Copenhagen. They're usually really pretty and there's like cafes and stores inside of them. I like this one. He pops out with his coat and the hoodie, and I caught him in action. Oh, here, this is probably my favorite. I see these two ladies, well dressed, preparing to ride the bike together. Finally, a moment's about to happen. As the light turns green, she jumps onto the bike and I fire away. I'm really happy about this one. This is the type of photos I'm looking for with this trip. From being quite disappointed with the day to now being quite satisfied with it after 2 good shots, I head back to the hotel. I switched to the 85mm to see if I could get some other types of shots. This well-dressed man on the bike gave me 2 good shots with the 85. I like the composition of the second one better, but the first one is more in focus on him. Just some shots of the sunset. Here I'm back at the hotel. I was at the 7th floor, which has some great views. I can really recommend this hotel. It's called 25H at Paper Island. The room was really nice, as well as the breakfast and the bar on the floor above me. I asked for a room with a view and got this view of the opera house and the sea. It's not dirt on the windows. They were actually really clean, but some rain and fog and wind. As you can see, it's way more grey out today. The air feels kind of heavy. Again, I don't feel that I'm getting what I want out of the city right now. I'm probably searching too hard for the moments. But there's not a lot of interaction happening. No groups of people. I got these shots. Now I'll be meeting up with a friend, Sam, who's here for the Fashion Week with his perfume brand Uniform. During a walk I get some shots of him. We go to a fair called SIF, where his brand is exhibiting. Whilst I'm here I walk around a bit to try and get anything cool, but as you can tell it's not the best place for photography. These are some of the shots that I got. This one I actually really like. I feel it's spot on for the feeling you have as a kid when you just want to leave but you can't, so you're just waiting. She's actually on the phone, but it looked like she was talking to the mannequin when I was walking by. Just their hair. Here all the blue shirts caught my eye. You get the point I'm really grasping. Then as I left I felt that I hadn't gotten what I wanted from this day. This was my only full day in Copenhagen, but the photos were lacking. I was speaking on this topic with Sam that the city felt kind of empty. He, who's been to a lot of fashion weeks, said that the winter ones are always more toned down. The best one to visit is the Paris one or fashion weeks during summer. But as I went out for dinner, I brought my camera with me and did one last round of the city. And I got these shots that made the day a little bit better. Today I wanted to try some other streets. I started off with taking a left here instead of a right. There's the opera that can be seen from my hotel room. The more I walked this way, the less I felt I was going to get any good shots, so I turned around. I didn't film, but I got this shot on this road, so I guess it was a good decision to walk it. Here again I take a left instead of a right. Something about this caught my eye, the futuristic car with the old grey Audi and the pickup with the trash driving past. Now we're walking by Christiania Freetown. If you don't know about it, it's quite interesting to visit. I've been there before, that's one of the entrances. I think that this wall is pretty cool, and there's two guys on bikes coming by. I'm quite far away from the Fashion Week action though, so I walk back. I get these shots on the way. This one I really like. Making it black and white removes the color for cars that drag away from attention. I would have wanted the 85mm for this one. I was here when I just arrived to Copenhagen and got this shot with my phone. I really liked it and wanted to recreate it as a good photograph, so I came back. There's two guys talking to each other whilst waiting for the green light. I want a photo of someone cool coming across the intersection a bit closer to me, but it doesn't happen, and with the rain I don't feel like standing here for too long. This is the best one from here. It's still quite good, but not what I envisioned. As you can see, it's grey, rainy, windy. I go into a cafe to reset for a bit and then head back out into the more Fashion Week part of town. I see that the Swedish brand Filippa K has some kind of event here. Loads of models standing like mannequins showing off a new collection, I guess. Pretty cool. I forget to record this bit, but I get some nice shots here. This one gives a retro vibe with the motion and blur. I like it. This one I really like the colors. This one is pretty cool, not really my colors, but it pops. Shiny like a store. I felt this jacket fit the scene here, but the photo itself is nothing special. Another alleyway, and I saw a woman in a big coat, which I missed, so I followed and found this cozy little place. Here I'm just intrigued by the sheer amount of alcohol. I waited for someone to walk past in the corner. This one came out quite cool. I think I captured a cool moment here, but the motion blur is slightly too strong, which is a bummer. I noticed afterwards that I had the shutter set to 1 of 100, which is a bit too slow for these fast shots. Day 3 is coming to an end. It's getting dark quite early here, so I circle a few blocks a couple of times to get some last shots in. This was my first ever trip entirely dedicated to photography. The pressure of expectations for this trip seemed to get me every day, but stopping, getting a coffee, looking through the photos I've gotten and resetting that way always seemed to work, as I always got something good after that. My aim for the trip was to get cool people in special moments, but there wasn't that many of them. Maybe I was looking for them too much. However, a funny thing was that several people got my photos on Instagram in their feed/explore page because Instagram somehow recognized it was them on the pictures. I didn't know Instagram could do that, and definitely a positive in the reach aspect, as they all reposted the images, even one of the fashion brands. All in all, I did get some photos that I really liked and that I happily will look back at. Which were these. What do you think? Should I try this again but at a summer fashion week? Let me know. I have a couple of other trips planned for the spring where I plan to film as well, so subscribe if you want to see that. The first one is over the Atlantic and the other one in Europe. Thanks for watching.